My daughter-in-law gave birth to a child from me, Vadim admitted to his brother. The wife heard and ran into the kitchen. What are you talking about, Vadim? This is your grandson, and you are slandering him. Did a soccer ball hit you in the head from the screen? You spend the whole evening watching football in the kitchen. Yulenka put Romochka to bed, and it's time for you to go to bed. I'm telling the truth, Lena. Our son turned out to be infertile and suffered without confessing to any of us. Yulenka already wanted to divorce him, but they decided to talk to me. The three of us went to the dacha. And you, Lena, were on duty at the hospital for a day then. There we had a serious conversation on this topic. It turns out that Andrei himself suggested to Yulia that I take part in this. And she agreed, but they also needed my consent. What won't you do for the well-being of your son's family? Why did this happen, Vadim? Our son didn't want to live because of this. If everything went so smoothly? Outwardly, Lenachka, he was calm, but in his soul he felt inferior, as I assume. Julia tried to persuade him not to think about it. Everything turned out to be useless. That's why Andrei went fishing and never returned. But I, Vadik, don't believe that he drowned. He often comes to me in my dreams. So he came into the apartment and handed me a bucket, and there were fish swimming there. Lenachka. The rescuers searched everything. His car was parked by the river, unlocked. It contains all his things. It is clear that he stripped down to his swimming trunks and sailed on an inflatable boat. She caught on a snag, but he was not in it. Vadim, I know this, but our son was not found. If he were alive, Lena, he would swim out and return, even if he was carried far away by the current. 2 months have passed since then, and you need to somehow calm down. It's easy to say, but difficult to do. I can't help but think about it, Vadik. I'm just waiting for him to come through the door and call me. In the morning, when Vadim woke up, Yulia was bustling around in the kitchen. He came in and asked, as usual, Lena has already left for work? Yes, Vadim Grigorievich, and she instructed you to prepare breakfast. She just drank some coffee and ran away. That's how she is. Something went wrong yesterday. I told my brother about Romochka's conception, and my wife Lena overheard it by chance. Now she knows too. I think it's time she found out. Andrei could admit to his mother that he is infertile. She is a doctor and could at least provide moral support. Your son was stubborn. Yes. Vadim sighed and started eating breakfast. We celebrated Romochka's birthday. He turned 1 year old. In the living room they sat modestly at the table in the evening. First they remembered Andrei, and they drank to the health of the birthday boy, who was sitting on a chair. The sudden ringing of the doorbell alerted everyone. Elena ran into the hallway. When she opened the door, she turned pale. Andrei stood at the threshold. Son, I can't believe my eyes. Where have you been? Crying. She hugged him. It's a long story, Mommy. I'll tell you everything, and headed into the living room. Julia rushed to her husband crying. Andriashenka, how can this be? After, Yulenka, and after the hug he approached his son. Our Romochka is so big. I just need to take a shower and change clothes, and I'll tell you everything. Otherwise I'm still in a hospital gown. Dad, go down to the yard and pay the taxi driver. He is waiting. I got it. Son, I'll do it. Vadim hurriedly left. Andrei went into the bathroom, and Yulia ran into the room to get clothes for her husband. The others were waiting impatiently. After the bath procedures, Andrei began his story at the table. I undressed on the shore, pushed the boat into the water, and it floated away. I swam after her. I caught up and grabbed hold, but it seemed like a cramp cramped his leg and some force pulled him down. I tried to rub my leg with both hands, and then that's it. I woke up in the hospital, but didn't remember anything, not even my name. The woman's words were spinning in my memory. Your son was born. So, what is next? How did you start remembering everything? Vadim really wanted to know how his son's memory returned. Today at 6 in the morning a nurse entered the room. She asked if there were any changes. I shrugged. A neighbor on the other bed asked her what date it was today. She answered. This date made me remember everything. On this day Romochka was born. How are you saved? This interested Vadim very much. Some fisherman saw me and pulled me ashore. He asked who I was, but I couldn't answer. He took me to the local hospital. Already in bed at night, Elena asked her husband, how do you look your son in the eye after a close relationship with Yulia? Which loved ones? Lena? It was not natural conception, but IVF. And then you couldn't tell right away? I tormented myself with jealousy all this time. Well, I didn't realize. Let's go to sleep already. The evening was not easy, and tomorrow we have to go to work. Vadim hugged his wife and closed his eyes. Thank you for being with us. Give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and you will be the first to listen to another new story.